To this little gathering in Glastonbury, the heart center of the world. We're gonna explore the Lemurian Starchild templates. I'm Mikael Kroon, and next to me is Nikola Penkov.
Hi everyone.
Who is the center of the attention today, because we're gonna tune in and share all about your work and the energy that is your divine purpose. And next to Nikola, we've got our lovely we're all so happy you're here. It's really great. We're tuning to the energies, and we're gonna use the deck, the Lemurian Starchild Oracle deck, to do it. But first we're gonna attune in a little meditation from Leanne to tune our energies between us three and with you, the watcher, as well.
Okay, so just getting really comfortable. Allowing yourself to be fully here. And as we open up to the universe, into our multidimensional selves, into source, to our oneness, we also remember that we're bringing that light down into us, into our bodies, into our lives, our relationships. And we're remembering to be compassionate and kind to ourselves in this process. Knowing that our family of light aren't rushing us, and our higher self isn't rushing us. We're being helped to open to the love of God. And that love is not pressuring or conditional in any way. So just opening our hearts to receive that unconditional love. And as we do that, we're holding space for all of our aspects, our shadow, as it opens itself to the light. And just give thanks for all the blessings and all the help from our light family, the angels, galactic brothers and sisters, universal brothers and sisters, the whales, the dolphins, and all the ascended beings, beings in the etheric of light, the highest light, and love, the elementals. They're all here helping us to really integrate and open and shine the new earth. Many blessings. So is.
Oh, what a lovely meditation.
Feeling that unconditional love.
Definitely. How are you feeling the flow of us three being together for this special occasion of working with the deck and sharing the energies, demonstrating the energies together in a co-creation between us and with our light family as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to explore with Mikhail, with Nikola, with us all together, and to hear more about you, Nikola, and your journey.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, guys.
So
Pleasure.
let's look at the layout for a second on the screen. We're gonna draw 7 cards.
Yeah. Well, we've got the layout here on the screen, but we've also got it on our little table here, and we'll be picking. Well, Nikola will be picking a card for each of the places in the layout.
That's it. We'll start with the Blu-ray, number 1, then Dolphin Baby, the Indigo, the Earth Angel, 5 is the Rainbow Child, 6 the Crystal Child, and number 7 is the Star Children.
Yeah.
So you can see the same layout on the table.
Not quite so neat, but
looks perfect to me.
Okay.
So let's see what the cards have to share, guys. What they can tell us.
Yeah.
So this is the Blu-ray being.
Yes, this aspect is your divine purpose.
Elven.
Elven one.
Well, straight away, what comes to me to share about that card is that the Elven ones are the ones that carry the whole divine blueprints for the plant kingdom, and they come from stars, and they seeded the planet with all the plants that were needed.
Like really facilitating humanity to evolve as well through creating these circumstances, isn't it?
So this is all about the healing potions and the herbal tinctures, and the elves were a big part of creating heaven on earth. But the Lemurians were the like angelic, etheric energies that wanted to come into physical form and experience heaven on earth in the physical form. And so they created this wonderful planet with lots of other star family, and some of those star family were the ones bringing the blueprints for all the plants, all the trees, all the DNA, for plant kingdom. And they also help to ground and attune the energies into a physical body, because they were obviously carrying physical creation codes. And so it said that there's a kind of marriage between these angelic beings and the beings from the stars who brought these creation codes to create the humans, Lemurian humans. Yeah. So
Powerful energies you're speaking of. Just say this.
What else do you get from it, Nikola? From those
Well,
words?
yeah, I mean, it feels very aligned because my, let's call it awakening or alignment to what I'm here to do really started with plant medicine. And it's just continues to be part of my journey of exploring what I do, and I can bring in and just blend in my own alchemy through crystals or sound, sacred geometry. And this card is also about sacred geometry, and I use a lot of sacred geometry in my meditations or the healings that I offer to people or work I do on myself on a daily basis. So it's just resonates a lot.
Yes. Just like a warm embrace with divine feminine. You get that. It's your feeling of it.
Yeah, it was a very gentle energy that it started to flow as Leanne was speaking, and I just started to feel. Yes.
Yeah, definitely, isn't it? It's that really that gentleness and connection with nature beings, isn't it?
As if Gaia is speaking to you in a way.
Yeah.
Herself.
Yeah. Because I think, the planet and the experience here was a real co-creation, between so many different consciousnesses and beings, really. The Lemurians certainly were very conscious of their connection with everything, and they could tune in, and know the energy signature and the message of different plants, the medicine of them. And that's how the shamans found out about all the plants in the Amazon, isn't it? Through connecting with their energies and being told which plants could do what. So it's a beautiful card. A confirmation,
yes,
isn't it?
it is indeed. Yes. Yes. Trees actually, for example, they communicate through the root system. They share nutrients. And they're very intelligent.
Beautiful. Yeah. I was lucky. I was taught, by my my nan, to hug trees when I was little, and it's so nourishing, isn't it, and beautiful. To feel their wisdom
and they're not in a rush anywhere. They're just standing there and growing, roots growing strong, and also the crown growing strong. So
yeah, wow. So
teachers.
let's all tune to our hearts for a moment and see what this card can tell us about our own journey. Instead of feeling that beautiful embrace from the divine feminine. It's like you've been guided in this way, haven't you, on your journey?
Yeah.
By working with this alchemy.
Yes, and it's been very empowering. But the one thing is to know that, again, they're just helping frequencies in the power. Yeah. The work I do is about empowerment, that we all have this power within us. And yes, these energies can help us, but we shouldn't become dependent on any of this to bring what we carry within us.
Can you say about sort of the moment when let's say you were working mentally in your work, when you really first felt that connection with nature and with your elven self, if you will?
I mean, I was always connected to nature because I spent my childhood running around in the summers in the mountains in Bulgaria. So my father was always and continues to be very connected to nature. So I've been brought up this way.
Yeah.
But the plants were just a catalyst for me. You know, I was
but
just.
as you kind of grow up, you know, there's also this pressure, isn't it, to achieve mentally, and you know, for me, I feel I was kind of stuck in my head at times.
Yeah, I was very much in the mind and just continuous doing. Yeah, just really living what society was expecting to do.
It's the pressure, isn't it, as well, and it can sort of overshadow that natural sense kind of temporarily. So I'm really interested, like, what sort of brought you back? What first?
It's quite hard, isn't it, to come out of that society's expectation?
Yeah.
Well, the journey for me was through just really sinking down and shedding everything that was in the way of discovering what I truly am, because I actually didn't even realize what was happening. It was just knowing that something was not working and things had to be shifted, and I just started walking intuitively, and one thing led to another, and eventually everything became a full circle. But it was the continuous discovery and awareness of it's like this of making space so new things can enter, because otherwise if we don't create space in our lives, you know, there's no space for new information to come in.
Letting go of those old identities, isn't it? And the mental.
I would say actually integrating them, because it's, you know, they're still parts of us in the same way that we think of high light, and extreme darkness, but they're all aspects of us. We are all of it, and it's not about judgment of wanting to be just light and dark. It's all about working with it and integrating it.
You're saying you've embraced those parts.
Well, that's the direction. I wouldn't say I'm there, but it's a direction where we go beyond duality. Because if we're caught between the fight of light and dark, we're still living in duality and creating separation. So it's just seeing that the shadow that we have is just a thing, and you integrate it and you elevate it, you transmute it.
Because it's amazing, isn't it? Because you know, the Blu-ray is all about your purpose, and you're really attuning to it through letting go of, you know, whatever you needed to let go of, all those things.
It's like they're not bad, it's just they just don't resonate anymore.
Yeah, you just change your frequency, and I mean, it's a continuous journey of exploration, really, because we're really just remembering what we already know in a way. So it's like we're aligning with what is already within us.
Wow, beautiful. Well, let's look at your inner child's dreams, the dolphin baby.
Okay.
It's the next card, and this is about you know, that playfulness that we also attune to, that we get our creativity from.
Let's
see what comes out there.
Rising to Pleiadian frequency. Very interesting, Mikhail. I don't know. Well, the first thing is to share is that and is this a hummingbird?
Yes.
Well, I'll start first how I found out about Mikhail, because he advertised in the Oracle, which is a magazine in Glastonbury, that he was running Pleiadian channeling workshops, and that's how I met you.
That's it.
I always thought there's a Pleiadian connection. But the hummingbird is, again, it's used in sacred plant ceremonies where it's to align us with joy and bringing this, which is again the dolphin energy. So it's I just love the alchemy of, you know, it's like you have the hummingbird, unearthly animal,
I
spirit,
think, you know,
and you have played in frequency. So it's like just, you know, aspects of creation working.
You must have,
together.
you know, picked up those songs from the birds when you were young, you know, because when I hear birds, I hear light language, you know.
Well,
so that's the attunement, isn't it? And because you were saying you were connected with nature, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's such a good start, isn't it? When you can find that in yourself.
And choosing what frequencies you want to connect with as well. And it says about crystals and flowers and music and you know, working with different energies.
So yeah, the words here are healing, clear space for higher energies, like what we were talking about a moment ago. Nurture with gentle music.
Like the
because actually it's quite important, because sometimes we don't need to be loud to be heard or to have an impact. You know, the message can be very gentle and very powerful at the same time. So
a little hummingbird, some of them are tiny, like the size of a thumbnail, aren't they?
So you know, this really looks like, you know, when you connect to that playfulness, you know, from when you were a child, it's like you connect cosmically with the whole universe. Does that make sense?
It does,
Like your natural state.
Well, children are naturally connected to their innocence and joyfulness and playfulness. So, you know, we can learn a lot from just observing children.
Absolutely.
And finding that in, you know, like every moment, isn't it, in yourself, that creativity. And
it's also equally important not to take all this or anything else too seriously, because it's just an experience in the end of the day, through which we have an opportunity to grow and learn something, and actually we created it and agreed to experience it anyway. So it's about embracing it and being a bit more playful with anything that's in our space.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Because when you start to buy into any belief, and it becomes dogmatic, isn't it? Whatever it is.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I've been through
with
this.
So many people.
It's easy to become too serious because you're so spiritual, which we are all spiritual actually. There is no hierarchy.
Definitely.
So
embracing
the playfulness.
Because you've tried different teachings perhaps, and did you find some of them just don't resonate with it? I'm on my way.
I mean, I would say that any teaching resonates in a certain degree, but you know, again, it's which bits are important for you, which are not really, and really tuning into what you want to apply in your life, because there are so many things out there, and you know, there's something, and some things come.
And you're working with quantum vortex. Isn't it?
Well, I'm trained as a theta healer.
Theta healing, that's it. Sorry.
But at some point, it's so evolving. You know, they're just like building blocks, and at some point, you just start playing and really using your intuition, creative visualization.
It was very powerful though when you did the theta healing in the group. I can really feel that.
We can.
And it's just because you weren't like visibly, you know, doing anything, but it's like you're sending out
massive downloads
this message somehow.
Well, I just channel an energy that has a specific purpose. That's how I look at it. And I mean, through playfulness, I've just started experimenting, and you can just bring in any frequency we want to achieve a specific effect. But it's about how strong our intent and focus is, and it's also like allowing the self-doubt to be clear, because the less the more confidence we have, the stronger our channel. And the clearer the frequency we can bring, and sometimes just a millisecond of this is enough to create instant healing of something.
Mm.
Healing is instant. It doesn't need to take ages. That's just a belief we have in our head again.
Yes.
So time and space don't exist on a certain level where we actually bring these energies to do the healing. So
Lovely. Wow. Well, I've got two beautiful cards there. That's a lovely combination, right? Path of Light and Dolphin Baby, kind of inner child dreams. That's very cosmic.
Ooh.
So let's have a look.
and thirdly, at the same time,
the indigo frequency. What's happening there?
observe.
Oh, you're observing.
Ah, wow.
And
Okay.
the owl.
That's really interesting because the indigo is often quite a kind of active and passionate kind of energy of action. And
So
the
this
observe card is about, being able to be in your center
Yeah.
and just notice things and not get pulled out of shape and not get pulled into kind of maybe unconscious action or unskillful action that causes you problems. And it's a really beautiful card about noticing things but waiting for wisdom to kind of guide you, which is like a perfect antidote really to the indigo kind of phase, which can be a bit kind of gung-ho and like something's wrong, I'm going to be an activist or something.
I think they go together, isn't it? Because when you start to go together with you, when you start to observe the world around you, you start to notice those things that are not natural. Let's say like that, right?
Yeah.
And you start to think about ways to make it different. Is that something you've?
I would phrase it differently, actually. For me, this card is observe is like the neutral state. Like in Kundalini Yoga, we talk about the neutral mind. And this is just the state of presence where you're kind of, you can take action from a neutral perspective. And it's like what we are talking when you move beyond the judgment of good or bad, light or dark. And it doesn't mean you accept everything, but you have strong boundaries and you just move your own and direct your own life from this state of neutral, pure presence. And the owl, by the way, is an animal totem. It represents seeing the shadow, actually your own shadow as a start. So it really is about having this shadow work, because through exploring our own shadow, we can find a lot of compassion for others when they're playing out the drama of their life, and it's so important to.
Yeah.
It's
one of my favorite cards. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful card.
So do you remember when you first connected to the owl and the observing kind of faculty?
I think it's something it's continuously exploring, but the owl came very strong last year. Like I just remember it appearing in my space 5 times in a day, and I bought a painting with the owl actually sitting in my living room, just to remind me of the importance of looking in my exploring my own shadow, and because through just honoring the pain that's inside, that's being accumulated, and allowing to feel into it, this can be released and then integrated so new things can come in. But it's not necessarily once you start doing it, it becomes easier because you just accept it as a natural process. But the more resistance you have, the more tension there will be when observing those things, and they might just take longer because they want to be seen.
Right.
So it's about allowing them to be seen, because they'll find a way to be seen. It's
they'll
how long
find
we
a way
want to take.
to come into resonance with the lights and the observing.
Can be like when you find that owl, that observing, like it can be a breakthrough, isn't it? In your shadow work, and you find that.
It is that place of being able to step back, which is definitely a kind of a point in your journey, isn't it, where you realize, that there's a lot more space around things and a lot more choice around things than when you're kind of right in the middle of things.
Well, it's also being very truthful about when something comes up, to take a step back and not judge or project onto another person, because it may be something that's inside of you that needs to be looked at. And when more of us start doing this, we're just, the world is going to transform very fast. It already is transforming very fast, because less of this projection energy goes into the space. So
and the key word, one of the key words of this is loving eyes see all. And I think, the more that you, like you say, you grow in compassion and recognition of, like a common humanity and the difficulties sometimes of being a human and growing up in a kind of 3D society. You have that growing compassion, and as you grow in compassion for yourself and grow in compassion for other people, and you just have more and more of that ability to step back and create a space, of noticing.
The words that are coming through are like, as you see yourself, you can see others.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful card. Thank you for bringing it through.
So that's come through in Glastonbury, hasn't it?
Yes,
very strongly.
Yes.
How long have you been here in Glastonbury now?
It's been a year. But it feels like 10 years.
Oh, wow. Why is that? Tell us about that.
Well, it's this card because it's a very powerful land, so it brings everything that you need to see. It just comes up very fast. So it's been the owl for me. It's really part of this land.
Beautiful,
and an important one.
That you've drawn that card, and it kind of tells us about that journey, isn't it? That you've had here, because the first year for many people can be quite an intense year of being in a vortex and being shown so many things, isn't it?
Yeah, it was very intense, but very empowering at the same time. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah, beautiful. And you've already facilitated your own workshops here. That's really amazing.
It's a growing.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for your yoga workshop. You're talking about doing a yoga class.
Yeah, this looks like it will be happening.
Oh, excellent.
As long as people are committed to come.
Yes, that's the thing.
You are really committed, aren't you, in your yoga?
It's very well. It's really the more practice we do, the higher our light quotient and the higher our frequency. So yeah, we can hold space for others. More powerful. That's how I see it. So when I do my own work, it's really about this, really increasing how much space I can hold. But it's also important to honor what our physical body needs and to be able to take a step back and relax, because it's very easy to get into a go mode and then just burn out. So it's important to nurture ourselves as we explore this journey.
Very much.
Wow. It feels like definitely, that indigo energy when you're doing yoga is like you're observing everything in the body, but you're also very committed with that beautiful intention and indigo energy. So brings it all together.
It feels like action from a very beautiful place of equanimity, really. That's what I'm feeling, with that combination of the indigo aspect, which kind of sees a lot of stuff, but doesn't always know what to do with it. Whereas this is really, as I've said, a response to what you're seeing rather than a reaction.
So you come slightly,
towards
us. So you get the Earth Angel.
Yes. Do you want to explain what this aspect is about?
Something's coming out already before I can say anything. Yeah, unlock your gifts. Amazing.
Wow, beautiful card. I
Yeah.
haven't seen this before.
So this is where
With dolphins.
Yeah.
I was talking about dolphins with a friend of mine this morning.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Cool.
What were you talking about?
Well, because I work with sound, and she takes people on trips in the Red Sea, where they swim with dolphins, and yes, she was sharing how you can see how the dolphins are projecting sound frequencies and color codes, and you can see the geometry as well they're sending to people. And she can perceive this as it's happening in the water, and she said it's amazing. So
wow.
they're powerful healers. I mean, they work with sound, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
They're very
like the sound they perceive is, I think, while we as humans perceive from 5 hertz to 20,000 hertz, I think they perceive to 180,000 hertz or something. So very, very big range, and they work with this.
So what I feel with this card, you know, and Nikola, and I'm gonna ask you to like tune into this, is because we're also doing a bit of healing together for ourselves and for the collective, you know, for everyone who's watching. What I feel with this is when you share your gifts, you know, you really show yourself to everyone, and you show your beauty, you show your feelings, you know, even if they're shadows, in that openness, and it's a delicate thing to share our gifts, because some people, you know, might not like our gifts, but because of this angelic, you know, energy coming through the earth angel here, it's like you know, we're feeling compassion for everyone, and we want to share this, you know, with the whole world. So just want to attune to that together, you know, and kind of feel you know, how that feels for each of us, to really share our gifts from a place of self-love as well. Yeah, and knowing that, you know, our gifts are valuable, just from our heart, without you know, even before anyone shows their appreciation or confirms it, isn't it? So it's a beautiful process to unlock our gifts, because through the sharing with others, we unlock so much more.
And that's why we are here, because we know a lot, and it's about, I mean, my work is really, I relate about this because my work is, I've seen the process of unlocking my own gifts, and it's an ongoing journey, you know. It's not like it's this is it and it's done. It's a continuous process, and my work is really about, like, because we all have DNA that needs, well, doesn't need to, but we can activate ourselves. It can be accelerated by just bringing certain frequencies, but my work is about DNA activation, really, at the core of it. But anything we do has the potential to activate our DNA. It can be sound, it can be yoga, it can be a walk in nature. So it's a powerful card.
Really coming through, isn't it?
It's a beautiful card.
Sharing your gifts and unlocking your gifts.
It's a real nice one, because it really shows clearly like the juxtaposition between like my artwork and Mikhail's light language.
Oh, right, yes.
So this is his light language key.
I mean, the name of my workshop is called Awaken the Power Within, which is, I mean, this is another way of putting it, unlock your gifts, because, you know, ultimately each one of us is about discovering them and honoring them, importantly, and being strong to explore them, because, you know, there will be judgment, we will trigger people, but it's about pushing through those projections and just doing what we love, because that's what we're here to do.
And like they're following this golden dolphin, and it feels like somehow, you know, because of the Christ consciousness. That's what I kind of relate to with the golden dolphin. It kind of spurs us on, you know, this just love and wanting to share, and it makes you go past those blocks that might make you feel like the earth angel here. It's kind of, she's not quite touching the ground. She's kind of hovering above the ground a little bit. Sorry, there's the feet.
That's it. Just look at that phone, and you can see how it turns out.
Yeah. It's kind of you're bringing all this beautiful energy, and you can see that little flowers coming out of her hands. But it can be quite hard to, you know, there can be a kind of ambivalence. Like she's got one palm upwards, like really sharing, and the other palm's kind of down, like quietly just blessing the world. And I think, you know, that those two together, it really is that what you're doing, isn't it? It's and what we're all doing is helping people to really step into their roles and their shining their lights.
But again, there's nothing to be forced, and everyone has their own
their own timing.
Their own timing, and everyone finds the person that can take or not, or people that allow them to move one step further. And
yeah, absolutely,
definitely, and that thing that, you know, the prayer that came in, or the meditation at the beginning was definitely about it being a gentle,
I felt
non-rushing kind of.
Yes.
Like, it's cool, everybody. just
relax.
And you're like a flower that's just opening, and that's beautiful. You don't want to rush it.
Well, rush it, but be conscious of what you about it. You know, at the same time, just you can be focused and relaxed and.
Definitely.
It feels, it's, you know, when you think of flowers, like some are like in a bud one minute, and the next minute they pop open, don't they? And they're like a full bloom. And others, like the orchid, you know, it's like a bud for about 3 months. And then, you know, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it's just slowly opens, and then it's blooming like in this beautiful, gorgeous, incredible bloom for months again. And it's just all different, isn't it? It's allowing yourself to be in your own flow.
It's so amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone who opens up like a flower in their own way.
Yeah.
And you know, and I've experienced your gifts, Nikola, when you were doing your healing. Because it's like you're just sitting there, and this light just beams out when you tuned in.
And I'm continuous to explore it, and what I'm finding is, you know, I'm enjoying it. And just learning how to bring it forward. I mean, and share what I learn.
It's beautiful. And you've got a group, haven't you, on Facebook called Awaken the Power Within?
I do, yes.
And you share lots of inspirational little things as they come up in the flow.
I mean, for me, it's about sharing and just bringing more information about people to be supported on the journey, because I had 2 years of quite a deep shadow work, I would say, and it's I still have things that I'm working through, but it's many of the things I had to find out about. For example, I mean, I had no idea about crystals, or so many things I was just not even aware of, or I had some idea but never really appreciated them. But suddenly, when you just allow yourself the space to just relax and be who you're meant to be, and lots of doors open and things come up, and again, it's up to us to walk through those doors, because nobody is gonna do the journey for us. So for me, it's about sharing information, and then whoever's meant to read it or connect, you know, there people will find it. So for me, it's just sharing some interesting articles I find about sound or elixirs or
we've experienced you sharing. So we can look at the rainbow childs.
This represents your
divine abilities
and grounding the light as well.
Okay.
Co-create a new world.
Know yourself.
Oh wow, that's a beautiful ability, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, to know yourself
well,
on a deep kind of level.
yeah,
Your true self. And that's a beautiful combination with the rainbow child, because the rainbow child is about building the new earth and co-creating the new earth from a place of self awareness and self knowing.
and know yourself is about remembering ultimately what
Yeah,
what our gifts are and what we can do, and it even relates to all these other cards that we had, like the shadow, the owl, or unlock your gifts. They're kind of starting to flow beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely, aren't they? Yeah, very lovely.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's just simple, straight to the point, and
you know, and the know yourself card is also about self-love. Because when we unlock these gifts, isn't it? We need to love ourselves as well, and the clarity that comes with, for example, with shadow work, is bringing love to all these different parts, isn't it? To integrate them.
yeah.
And letting go of all that kind of society judgment stuff that you grow up with, you know, that can kind of get in the way of loving and appreciating yourself.
And you've experienced that, isn't it, in your shadow work?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of distortion around love in society, and it's, you know, it's like you want to be with someone, but if you approach it from a space where you don't have enough self-love, you expect the other person to complete you because there's a bit missing, and it's going to cause a lot of havoc sooner or later in the relationship. So the more healthy, nurturing self-love we have, where we honor what our soul is really calling us to do. It can be singing, it can be dancing, it can be just running or going in nature. It's about doing the simple things that we love doing. It doesn't need to be complicated or channeling light or healing. You know, it can be just as simple and just reading a book, and this is self-love. And as we honor ourselves, we can honor other people from a different space, and then you just meet the person that resonates with this frequency.
Self-nurturing.
And then the relationship is just going to expand into a different space. And it can be more sustainable rather than bringing all the shadow aspects to play so they can be seen, and eventually the whole thing implodes potentially, because I've been through this myself. So,
shadow work kind of through relationship as well.
Yeah. Yes.
And that can be really deep, can't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but you really get to know yourself.
Well, in a way, you're forced to, because it's right in your face, and it's right there. So I mean, you can spend you can lay more bricks if you want, but then just creating more. The volcano, when it comes up next time, it's going to be even stronger.
And that's so good about being open to relationship as well, isn't it? Not being a hermit or whatever, but opening your heart to others, whether it's friendship or relationship.
Yeah, we are meant to share. It's like, I mean, it's not about escaping. For me, I had this vision that if you're a monk, well, go in the center of a city and remain calm and present as you're in a cave somewhere in the mountain, and then you've really achieved something. But if you're just standing there on your own, you know, it's how we act in the world under pressure and under tension, and can we remain centered and observing, because it's critical. We live in very dynamic times, and there's a need to be strong in our energy and present, and
Yeah, so you've not escaped, but you've walked through these journeys, isn't it?
I mean, I've been through
Right.
phases where, you know, I would like, the system is bad or this is dark, but actually for me, it's now I just see it as a different note on the piano, really, and need to be able to function anywhere in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we align more with who we are, it
doesn't affect us.
It does, because we still need to be aware of the energetics where we enter, so,
Right.
so we can maintain healthy energy boundaries. But yeah, we should be able to function anywhere.
I think by focusing is what it is. Is where do we choose to focus?
Yeah.
You know, and what do we choose to affirm?
Wow. Thanks for sharing all that. Yeah, it's amazing to explore it together, isn't it? I thought, you know, some of these guys are, you know, so crucial, like, because the alpha ones and the Pleiadian frequencies, perhaps it relates to that kind of creative child's sort of attunement, and then the owl coming in, right? That's like the wisdom coming in, big time, and also the gifts, and then the self-knowledge. So it's like they're all stepping stones to, you know, on a spiritual journey. Yeah,
it's building up beautifully.
We've got a few more for you. The crystal child.
What's this one about?
The vibrational wisdom that you bring to the new earth. You're going beyond cycles.
Beyond cycles.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
find and embrace yourself, new direction, releasing old patterns. Well, in a way, we've covered a lot of ground, I think.
Yeah.
it's an affirmation.
But that is, you know, because you've gone beyond the cycle yourself, like let's say cycle ancestral suffering, you know, you are sharing that knowledge with others through ceremony, for example.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and the ancestral work, it continues, you know, it's like as we start peeling the onion, we just can, I mean, the healing just becomes multidimensional because we're starting to heal not just ourselves, but ancestral lines. And that's why the work we do is not, we're not just working on ourselves, we're just literally, a simple action is touching everything.
Quantum kind of mechanics or something.
So yeah, everything has big impact, and the deeper we can work and faster we have a bigger impact, even if it may seem it's not, but actually it's we're doing a lot.
Yeah.
Can you share like a pattern or an interaction that's like a cycle you've gone beyond?
Yeah, an important one was well, when I was, my mom, she committed suicide when I was 21, and I didn't allow myself to feel and actually experience the pain. At that point, I was reading about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, so I was just using some techniques, you know, in manipulating myself to just, this didn't happen, basically. So I just piled a bunch of bricks.
Wow.
And obviously, with now when I look back, this has impacted me on deep level of feeling abandoned, rejected, you name it. So it took me 20 years to release this, and actually it was through plant medicine that it was brought up to finally be seen. And I knew by then a lot of energy techniques, but it was just going so deep. And as I cleared it in myself, I just started to see how it was actually running in the family line for generations and generations. And then I'm even doing more work there, but you know, it also connected me a lot to my ancestors to have a lot more compassion, because and the side effect of me not realizing this, I was just playing it out in my life, where with my children, just replaying this because at the basic level there was a program which was as simple as love is rejection or love is abandonment, and we have all these constructs that we are part of our energy field. And the moment I realized it, I could clear it, because that's as an aspect of theta healing, where we go into these programs and we just release them.
Seeing it,
and the moment I just did this, there was a big release. I just felt, and the shift is very quick, and then our reality changes, because we are no longer resonating, creating all these situations in this life to heal this, you know. And
absolutely.
so this was quite and so it took me 20 years to, you know, but the point is, we don't need to wait. And again, I've created this, it's on a higher level. I've created so I can learn something, but we don't need to wait 20 years to do these things, you know. Things are much faster now, but we need to be honest and willing to see what's sitting inside us.
But it's like the flower, isn't it, that opens, and each flower opens in their own way, like Leanne said. I feel like, you know, if I can say to myself, you know, I'm love myself in every action that I've ever taken, you know, and that's that nurturing, isn't it? I want to bring in, and if I can't say that, I'm just going to bring in more self-love. Because even if there were mistakes, or if there were slower than I wanted to, isn't it? It's just feels so important. Really embracing and accepting, appreciating yourself, isn't it?
No, it's about forgiving yourself, because you were doing the best you could at that time, or even if you haven't, there was something that was in the way. You know, but having self-love, compassion, self-forgiveness, very, very important.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that journey, Nikola. I think many people will benefit from that, because they can recognize similar, you know, patterns and
I mean, we are all healing humanity. You know, these are all beliefs and in our group consciousness. You know, and as one clears, then we are actually clearing them at the group consciousness level. So the more people, and the energy is accelerating. The more people do it, it just accelerates, and then it's not in the field. And things are shifting very fast now.
Wow.
Beautiful healing of the heart.
I mean, I've had, you know, intense experiences myself, I've always felt you know, a will to live. I've been able to find that in myself. You know, but some people don't, and
that can
that's their path, isn't it?
An ancestral pattern as well. You know, if you grow up around somebody who is expressing, you know, a wish to not be here anymore, that concept kind of gets ingrained in yourself as well. If things are difficult, or if there isn't a space for holding difficult feelings and bringing kind of comfort or acceptance and love to those.
You've probably, you know, experienced that in your work as well with people, isn't it?
Very much. Absolutely.
Sort of helping people to find that will to live in themselves.
And sometimes it's about, you know, holding space for the absolutely desperate sadness, you know, that can be there as a result of, you know, it's the holding that is the new experience in a way. That allows somebody to pass through, you know, the depths of feelings.
And just to add something, it's important to know that wherever you are or whatever happens to you, you're never alone. Even if you physically there's no one around you, just know you're never alone. You're always held and supported, and you're always aligning to what's serving you in the best way, so you can really do what you're here to do.
Yeah.
So just have this deep knowing and just surrender. Sometimes just pure surrender and trust in that what's coming is for your best, even if it may not seem like this.
Yeah, trust.
And
so
it's just going to redirect everything. And
often people, I think, when they're in the depths of their desolation and desperation, when they give up control and trying to fix it, and suddenly that's when it's like light can come in and they can have like a whole revelation.
That's the biggest opportunity, when through the extreme darkness you can see the extreme light, so embrace those moments, because they're actually very empowering. They're opportunities to really stay present and see what's there and what you want to no longer experience in your life, and then shed through the old skin. They're wonderful opportunities to be celebrated. So
yeah. Oh, wow.
Let's look coming in again.
Integrated. Oh, that's a beautiful message. So we've got the cosmic gifts lined up, the star children.
Let's see.
Being in the flow.
Well.
Wow.
Well, that's really about trust and surrender.
Yeah, releasing control.
And I'm just seeing it in my own life. Because I have a lot of fear coming from most of my life I spent as a software developer in banking in London, and to come into this space and try to figure things out and change my life completely, he's brought in a lot of fears. And I see the more I surrender to the flow, and like what I was saying, that we are always held and supported, just the amount of synchronicities that happen, it's I actually need to be really, really focused just to be able to surf the wave that's emerging, because it continuously just adapts, and the energy is just fast. And when we just shift to and align to what we're here to do,
and follow the heart.
Yeah,
the heart guides in the flow.
Yeah, and it's the trust, because if we actually knew what we are here to do, let's say the next 40 years, I'll probably be super scared if I'm shown this is where you're going, So sometimes it's just about trusting that you're heading in the right direction, and then remember the metaphor of you're just walking and the steps are appearing under your feet just before you step.
Trusting.
Yeah, I mean, we can transform and change, so much, because I used to be into physics and I used to think a lot, be mentally focused, and I didn't know my true self, and I couldn't imagine, expressing myself freely and just being who I am now.
And look what amazing creation!
So it's a message for everyone, isn't it? Anything is possible.
And trusting the flow. I was working, in the NHS as a clinical psychologist. It just didn't resonate anymore. I just trusted the guidance that I was getting, which was, to let go of it. And obviously that brings up kind of anxiety, because I'm used to having a salary and things like that. But actually, I knew my guidance was, to do what I've done, which is to move to Glastonbury. And I'm completely supported in the flow, and it feels totally right. And it's sometimes is a leap of faith, isn't it? And a real surrendering, but trusting, but also enjoying the feeling of being in the flow as well. Like you enjoy a nice swim in the sea.
Yeah, it's amazing, that alchemical journey, isn't it? And at first you must feel like a stranger with people who are actually more like-minded, and then the people that but it's because you're just getting to know yourself, really. That's what I experienced at one point anyway. then you discover that actually everyone is unique when you're expressing yourself freely, like in Glastonbury, and you don't need to be like anyone else. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's important to express ourselves and our truth anywhere we are without the fear of being judged, or because even if the projection comes, then if we are empowered to know our energetics, it just can't even come in. Actually, it won't even happen because we just project this inner confidence, and it's not even gonna enter the space of being. And we trigger a lot of people just because of who you start becoming, you know. But this shouldn't stop us or of shining.
Because of the vibration. It triggers people.
Yeah, and it's.
And I think a big part of the healing journey is actually is trusting your truth, where you've been invalidated, perhaps, or you weren't allowed to have that truth, and your feelings and your perceptions, and so you kind of come into adulthood often with like a real distrust of your own perceptions.
Definitely, it's about that earth angel again. You know, it's like, where has that earth angel been hurt, right? When they share their truth. And that's where you start to heal in shadow work and in the journey.
One thing to add about this card, actually, which I feel is relevant, is the flow, because it's the keywords you have is release control, divine will, oceanic consciousness, but I'll focus on the release control and divine will. I mean, it's when we start to flow and surrender, in a way we are entrusting, we are surrendering to our higher self, because it's about embodying our higher self in the physical. But to do this, we need to be able to hold the frequency of our higher self. And then our 12-strand DNA gets activated and even more strands can come online. So in a way, when we surrender and trust and we start flowing, we are surrendering to our higher self to bring us where we need to go.
Absolutely.
And then this flow really becomes
magical journey.
Yes, so that's really what this card is all about. It's about really bringing more and more of our higher aspects here in the physical. I mean, this is what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
And this is when we start to remember all these things and bringing our gifts
and even the things that maybe don't resonate now that used to, you know, they're all part of like gathering of gifts and experiences and connections and just beautiful, you know, blessings that you're carrying forward as well. And I think as well, it's like you can be like the rocks and you can ignore your guidance, you know, but the water's going to keep on smashing against you. And you know, you can be, I've definitely noticed in myself, you know, when I was just getting hints after hints about my job, and then it was just getting more and more intense until I just couldn't ignore it anymore.
Or be the rock that flows.
You can be both.
That's funny. So I've got the lava stone here.
Yeah, I saw it. Beautiful. I saw it.
Beautiful.
What a beautiful journey. Started with the Alvin and we've ended up with the flow. In a spiral.
Yes.
I'll just show for anyone who's watching. I'll show that one more time. So this is our layout. So blue-ray dolphin, indigo earth angel, rainbow child, crystal child, and star children. And then we've got the elven ones for the Blu-ray, isn't it? The Pleiadian frequencies for the baby dolphin. The observe for the indigo child. Beautiful choice, Nikola.
Yeah, good one.
And the earth angels unlocking their gifts. And that's a really deep one. I feel that's like something you're healing, you know, something really just by being fearless of these situations, you're healing. And then we've got the rainbow child, isn't it? The knowing yourself. And the crystal child goes beyond the cycles.
Yeah.
Thanks for holding all that up.
Like being the assistant.
Ta-da! Yeah, and that's where it really takes off, isn't it, as well? Because it's like you helping people to go beyond cycles, because crystal child is the vibration that you emit.
Yeah.
So that, you know, feel with the theta healing, and you're helping people to
and coming out of like a wormhole
to clear their ancestral stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to come back to kind of the warmth, the heart is directing them towards kind of the flow of love, giving love.
Yeah. And the star children are really in the flow, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that actually goes back to the baby dolphin and the Pleiadians.
Yeah.
Because that's about flow and cosmic frequencies as well.
Ooh.
So that feels like, you know, when you're in the flow, when you in that creative sort of almost like a child, seeing the world like a child sort of mode is when you're reconnecting cosmically as well.
And seeing everything that is kind of coming up in your life as being a gift from your higher self, even if it's kind of wrapped up funny.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah. It's true that it is a gift, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'll tell one more thing just to the viewers, because when we did the workshops in the summer, you came along and you started, and I was doing my light language and my channeling, you started to play the pyramid around the circle.
Yeah.
And everyone really liked it. And I thought that was so amazing, like, because, you know, like, this guy's just coming to share something here and join into with the frequencies.
It was an amazing experience to play the pyramid and combine it with the energy you were channeling and your voice overtones or what you were bringing.
And this is a big pyramid. Bigger than the one we've got.
Yeah, this one I've used it in plant ceremonies and in various my workshops. It's very powerful. So yeah, let's just bring in. Yeah, we can just bring in a code for whoever's watching to assist them in any way you feel you need support. So you can work with the energy. For me, when I work, it's in channel frequencies. For me, it's important that people receive, but they also direct the energy, because everyone does their own work, and I can only facilitate frequencies. But that's all I'm doing. I'm not really healing you. You're healing yourself. So use this sound to bring something in your life that you are looking for right now.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Let's say goodbye to the viewers.
Yes.
Big hugs.
Big hug.
Big hugs.
Thank you for having me.
Much love to everyone who's watching as well.
Yes.
Okay, I'll end the recording now. Goodbye.
Hi, I'm Leanne. This is Mikhail.
Hello.
We'd like to introduce you to the Lemurian Starchild Oracle, to a new way to receive loving guidance, inspiration, healing, and abundance into your life.
To demonstrate it by drawing some cards and showing you how it can bring great steps on a life journey for all of us into higher self-embodiment.
I'm an artist and a clairvoyant and also a clinical psychologist. And Mikhail is a physicist.
Originally. Yeah.
And a spiritual channel. And
that's right.
Author and artist of light language and singer of light language. We just want to share a card which is Heaven on Earth, which is a place that we're all invited to. It's the fifth dimension and above. It's the new earth. It's recognizing spirit and matter and living in a way that honors love. We would really like to, get as many printed as possible, so as to get the price right down. And then that way, what we feel is like a gift for all, for the kind of healing and the letting go of the old paradigm and the welcoming of yourself as a recognizing of yourself as kind of a divine co-creator, and recognizing the Lemurian Starchild within you, which is your natural state of magical beingness. We really want everyone to be able to enjoy that.
For every card, that's channeled from the Pleiades, from Lemuria, from our own unique collective of light beings that came together for this card deck. And then, in addition to that description, you also get a meditation and and there's layouts in the book.
Healing processes.
So we're gonna can find more about our deck on the Lemurian Starchild Oracle.com. And there's a Facebook page, Lemurian Starchild, where we share some of the cards, some healing music, lots of other things as well. Updates about the process, and lots of things. And now there's the Kickstarter as well.
So the Kickstarter, even if you can't pledge anything to the project, you can really, really help us by sharing our video. We'd be just so grateful.
That would be really awesome.
The cards really connect you with your own heart and your own higher guidance, really. And also, allow you to tap into the fun and the joy of living as we're meant to, and receiving our birthright, because we are beloveds of God.
And so it is.
Yes.
Thanks very much for watching, everyone. And do send us a message, send us an email, send us a message, comment. We'd like to be in touch, to share the love and light. Thanks very much for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.